How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, this video, as you can tell from the title, is on reception visits, right? Now, reception visits, for those that don't know, are the first visit you receive when you go to prison for the first time. Or if you've been in 10 times, you'll get a reception visit. It's the first visit you get when you've gone to prison for the first time or you've landed in prison again. In my experiences, personally, I put a disclaimer out there. In my experience, it's down to your friends and family to book the first visit, and then it's down to the prisoner to book every visit out after that via either booking it on the kiosk or sending out VOs. But your first visit is called a reception visit, and all it is a case of doing for. It might be different in different prisons, guys. So that's why I put that disclaimer out there. But in my experience, me personally, I went to prison, and my girlfriend at the time, this was a few years ago, she booked the first visit, and then when I've been back since, I think it was my mum that booked the visits and stuff like that. So how does it work, right? So when your loved one lands at the prison for the first time, he'll ring you, or he might write you a letter with his prison number, right? So then you're thinking, well, I've not had a visit. So what you do, you ring the prison on the booking line. Certain prisons you can text, you can text the prison on a mobile number to try and book a visit for a certain time and a certain day with your loved one's name and their prison ID number. You can also email certain prisons again, but that's again a disclaimer. Not every prison does this in my experience. But the main thing what people do is they ring the prison on the booking line and say, right, my loved one's been sent down. I need to book a reception visit, and you'll tell them what time and what date is convenient for you. Reception visits, in my experience, guys, are a half an hour. When I was in Strangeways, I got half an hour. When I was in Forest Bank, I got half an hour. So that's it. It's just an initial visit to see how your loved one's doing in prison. Or if we flip the coin, if you're in prison for the first time, it's a chance for you to see your friends, your family, your kids, whatever, since the first time you've arrived at the prison. Or if you've come back, or if you've been recalled or whatever, you can just go, like I say, you get to see your kids or your missus again. If you go to prison 10 times over 10 years or 10 times in your whole life, you'll have the same prison number throughout and stuff. But reception visit, it's your first initial visit. And like I say, normally what people do on the reception visit is, you've got, depending on what prison you're in, some prisons have got weeks, some prisons have got a month or 6 weeks, right? You've got 28 days at Forest Bank to get your clothes in. So that's your family's opportunity to go to your property to collect your clothes and take them to the prison. And that's normally done about half an hour or so before the visit. You'll have an allowance on how many tops, how many trainers, how many socks and certain things. You can't have football tops, you can't have camouflage, because obviously they think if you escape and the prison's in a field that you could like vanish because you camouflage and stuff. No football shirts for obvious reasons, football rivalries and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's it. You'll have you hand in the items for your loved one and stuff, or you could do it at the next visit. When you're on remand, you can have a visit every day, or a 1 or a 2 hour visit every a week, because you get half an hour a day. So you can have a visit every day if you're on remand. If you're convicted, it's 1 visit a week once you're convicted. And then once you become enhanced, you get an extra visit a month and stuff. It's not the best, to be honest with you guys. For the loved ones out there, if you go and visiting someone in prison, try to eat before you go to prison, but then take money for your loved one, because prison food's shocking and your loved one will be starving. But the fact is, I don't like prisons making money off the prisoner's suffering and the prisoner's family suffering. So if you can eat before you go to the prison, because they'll charge you like £2.50, £3 for a cheap bread, which is like cardboard, with a wafer thin ham, which is probably £1 for about 100 slices, and they're charging you like stupid amounts of money. So I don't like the prisons getting fat and rich off prisoners suffering and prisoners' family suffering. But always feed your love when you go on a visit, stuff like that. So yeah. Right, guys, it's just a short visit, guys, on reception visits and stuff. Like I say, it's the initial visit when your loved one first arrives at prison, or if we flip the coin and you arrive in prison, it's your first visit with your family. You get to see them, they get to see that you're all right. if you've never been in prison before, it gets a chance to settle your loved ones down. They can see that you're okay. They can see that you're all right, that you're with it and stuff. Or they might just pick up that you're absolutely depressed and your head's in bits and stuff because your world's come crashing down because you've landed in jail. But like I say, the initial visit is for about half an hour, booked by friends or family. If your loved one arrives at the prison, you can ring the prison the next day and start booking that visit. Simple as that. Whilst you're in prison, guys, visits lift your morale massively. Not everyone in prison gets visits, though. You've got people that they've got no family because the family breaks down and stuff, so there's people like that. But having a visit in prison raises your morale massively, can snap you out of a dark place and stuff. You might be contemplating suicide, you might be upset, you might be agitated, you might be depressed. You go on a visit, you see your loved one, you see your kids, you see your family. Perks you up. Once the visit's over, you're back to being depressed and pissed off, but you're on a high a little bit. Go back to the wing, you start thinking about your family and stuff, and it's all good. Right, guys, going to leave this here. 6-minute video, one of the shortest videos I've ever dropped. But like, comment, subscribe, guys, and I'll speak to y'all soon. Bye.